I mean, there is no escaping it. We can't have one doctor treating millions of patients without the help of ICT. So if you see, we have around 30 million cancer patients, but we produce only about 84 DM oncologists every year. And we have the double number of diabetics. We have around 60 million diabetics, but we produce only 67 DM endocrinologists every year. So India clearly has a lack of doctors in a very, very big way. And I think ICT is one tool which can really help us to provide access to these super specialists and the star doctors and the doctors living in big cities to people who are living far off in the villages and towns. The villages are very loath to come to the city just to get their blood sugar levels checked or just because their blood sugar is 200 today. So I'm not really bothered. I have work to do in my field. I have children to feed. If I take one day off, then I can't eat in the evening. So I can't really leave everything and go to a doctor to get my blood sugar checked. So if we could provide these facilities through ICT, if that person could have his blood sugar checked and consult the doctor sitting in the comfort of his home, or at the most go to a local doctor or a primary healthcare clinic in his village, I think we would be saving a lot of complications. The problem is we haven't laid enough stress on the primary healthcare system of our country. We do a lot of tertiary care at cities. We run super specialist hospitals in small towns, providing emergency care, cardiology care, angiographies, angioplasties, surgeries. But I strongly feel this is not the way to go. Even though we are doing that, we are providing, but that is also essential. We don't want you to die on the road with a heart attack coming to Delhi to get an angiography or an angioplasty done. But it is a very simple question. Would you rather not have a heart attack, or would you have a heart attack and get it treated very well, right? Nobody would answer that, okay, I will get a heart attack and get a good treatment. I would rather not have a heart attack. So this is the policy gap that we have. Even in diabetes, we know that the most common cause of kidney failure in India is diabetes, worldwide is diabetes. But the problem is we provide free dialysis to every patient. The government also will say, okay, we'll provide free dialysis, the dialysis centers being set up. But nobody will say we'll provide free blood sugar measurement or free drugs for your blood sugar or free consultation with a diabetologist or a DM endocrinologist for your blood sugar at least every quarter, which you need. So this is the problem, and I think ICT can play a big role in extending this reach of healthcare to the most deserving and the most underserved of them.
So we have quickly talked about who are the winners, with this, and what more you want, more vendors you want to attract, who will come forward to help or who will join hands with them to enhance and spread health awareness, especially health awareness.
Yeah, I would not like to call them mentors at all. We are equal stakeholders, so we are stakeholders in every sense. So all our partners, including our patients, our doctors, our staff, the people who supply us medicines, the people who supply us stents, the people who supply us laboratory reagents. So all of them are equal stakeholders in our mission to provide healthcare to the furthest of the communities, the people who do not have access to healthcare. So we interact very closely with coronary stent suppliers to run our cath labs, our machine providers. So we have cath labs from GE as well as Philips in some of our centers. So we in fact recently ordered 4 Philips cath labs at one go to set up in our 4 new centers that have just come up. We have a lot of suppliers from radiology equipment who supply us our CT scans and ultrasounds. We have lots of suppliers from our laboratory setups, from hospital furniture setups, from ventilator manufacturers, monitors. So the entire hospital, we set up almost one hospital every quarter. So we started in 2011, and we already have 11 hospitals in these 4 years that we've been working, and our 12th hospital is actually opening just next week in Kerala. So a lot of hospital furniture and equipments and machinery, these are the main suppliers that we work with on a very close basis. It would be great if some of them actually came up to us and started helping us more in more ways than just financially, more collaboration.
So as
So our entire HMS runs on cloud. The hospital management software that we have, the entire data all across 11 hospitals is on the cloud. So it can be remotely accessed anywhere. I can access all the data, anything that is happening at any of my hospitals right here on my phone. I can just pull out anything that I want. So cloud-based software, I think, is has totally arrived. There is no future in it anymore. So everything is happening on the cloud. I think future lies more in Internet of Things, more wearable devices, more real-time monitoring. So if a patient can have a watch in which his blood sugar, blood pressure, heart rate is being monitored on a real-time basis, and if there is any variation, if we feel that it should not go above or beyond that, that alert is going on a real-time basis to his physician. That I think is the future of things, and it should be coming very soon. I think within a year or two, we'll be having these as routine things rather than as a special case scenario. So in a routine thing, every patient will be monitored remotely with some wearable device, just like seeing your time, you'll be seeing your blood sugar whenever you want.
Yes, it's like we always think about the big data
So big data, I think, is one of the most crucial, but at the same time, one of the most neglected areas of healthcare. We do need big data. We do need analytics of that data. We do need to see exactly what we are doing. So evidence-based medicine runs on data analytics, and that has been one scenario which we have unfortunately totally overseen, especially in the public healthcare and the government health system.
there is one more thing that health there's only one can enhance it where we are.
So if we speak of an individual basis or a case-to-case basis, we are very advanced in it. I think we already have a lot of paperless hospitals. Our hospital will be paperless very soon, which is not the case even in the most advanced of medical systems in many places in the world. But the sad thing about it is there is no interoperability here. If I am treating you and I have your entire data on my cloud network, unfortunately you are visiting Bombay tomorrow for some tourism or some business purpose, and unfortunately you have an accident or you have any medical incident, there is neither the capability nor the intent amongst various hospital or healthcare chain providers to provide interoperability. If you get admitted to a hospital there, they will not be able to pull out the data that you already have in my system, or even if they may be able to, they don't have the intent to pull it out and read exactly what is happening. So interoperability and standardization, like the common USB port, I think is very, very important. The government must step in and make it compulsory that your data must be stored in some particular way which can be accessed by anyone using any kind of system. There must be interoperability, that is very important, whether you are in Kashmir or Kanyakumari or Gujarat or Assam, anybody and everybody should be able to access your data, but at the same time only if you want it to. So privacy issues are very, very important in this. Security issues are very important. It should not be accessible to anybody until unless the patient himself or herself authorizes it. So that I think are two major areas of concern right now that I have about EMR. One is security of your data and one is the accessibility.
How do you find
I think eHealth is one of the premier health magazines that we come across. It is one of the oldest as well and one of the most prestigious magazines. And I have been associated with the eLet's health events for a long time now. I've always found them to be very knowledge enhancing. There's great networking opportunities. You meet the best of people there and you learn a lot from these events. Your mind always opens out to more possibilities and more avenues that you can explore once you are there. I think it's one of the best events concerning healthcare in the country right now.